Alright, hi guys, welcome back to PKFX YouTube trading channel. Today is Sunday and the market is pretty much closed right now, about to open in a few hours time. So as usual, we'll do the weekend game plan for the upcoming days for the trades that I'm interested in. And as usual, I've already shortlisted the pairs that I'm interested in, and also some pairs that I do see some potential. I'm not so sure if it's gonna happen this week or not. And also we'll look at gold that I was aiming to sell, but I did not enter the trade, and the market actually rallied all the way up and then started pushing towards the downside. So I want to see what the market is about to do in the upcoming days, and if at all there is potential trade for that. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and kickstart with Euro USD. So Euro USD market has made a new lower low over here for the weekly, and this being the lower high. So the weekly is currently pushing towards the downside. In fact, it broke below this particular box and then came back up, retested, and formed like a dome shape that eventually is now pushing towards the downside, which I expect to continue towards the downside. So the weekly is bearish. The daily as of now is also bearish, this being the lower low, this being the lower high. And if I look at the 4 hours as well, it is technically right now in a sell as well. So weekly sell, daily sell, 4 hour sell, obviously I'm looking for a sell. And in fact, I believe maybe I wouldn't get sufficient push towards the upside. I may just, like end up buying from where it is right now. Obviously, I want to see how the market opens, but even right now, it does look like a decent 1 to 2 risk to reward trade. If I can get it slightly higher, I understand that the market would probably shift the 4 hour from a sell into a buy, just to come back to this particular area of interest before it pushes back down. But I'll see what it does when the market opens. Now, moving on to the next pair, which is GBPUSD. Now, GBPUSD, same thing as well. The weekly is a sell, daily is a sell, and 4 hours is also a sell, so I'm expecting for a sell. For the weekly, this being the lower low and this being the lower high, and the market actually came all the way up here. In fact, it tried to break above to create the weekly from a sell into a buy. But as we can see, the market did not close above this particular structure point, and the candle closed despite having a very long wick. The candle closed below that and then turned to the other side significantly, breaking the weekly EMA as well and breaking this particular daily area of interest as well. So if I go down to the daily, it is currently a sell, and if I go down to the 4 hour, it is also currently a sell. But at that current position, I would say if any sort of a pullback and this 4 hour EMA continues to rally to the downside, then I can potentially look for a potential sell to follow the pro trend trade of weekly, daily, 4 hour sell. So that's a GBP USD. Moving on to AUDJPY. Now, AUDJPY, this particular pair has been trending towards the upside. It did have a decent amount of push towards the downside, changing the weekly from a buy into a sell. So this is the lower low, and technically this is the lower high. The market has been rallying towards the upside for the past 1 month. So this is like 4 weekly candles already. And in fact, I see that the market is technically already retesting this previous structure point. And if it breaks this week, then eventually the weekly is going to turn from a sell into a buy. So right now at the point of entry, I still see this as a counter trend trade, but this is what I see market doing. I see the JPY pairs continue to rally towards the upside. Now, bear in mind that this can always pull back and have a significant pull towards the downside, but I see that the trend for the past 4 weeks breaking all these particular boxes that I drew as a resistance, right? I believe the market is going to continue to trend towards the upside. If I look at the daily candlestick pattern, technically this is the higher high and this is the higher low. It's pushing towards the upside. And if I look at the 4 hour candlesticks, well, it is pushing towards the upside. So ideally, if I want to trade with the trend, technically should be a sell, but because it is a strong daily and a 4 hour buy, and for the past 4 weeks it has been trending on a weekly candle as a buy as well. I'm expecting the market to break above this particular area that I've drawn as a potential resistance based on this 3 structure point on the daily candlestick pattern. On the daily candlestick pattern, I draw this 3 structure point and I drew this box to say that, hey, maybe potentially over here you might get rejected and get pushed towards the downside. But looking at this tremendous rally towards the upside, I believe it's going to break even this and continue to rally towards the upside. So this will be a counter trend trade as of now, all right? And I believe that's what's probably going to happen, right? But of course, we need to see how the market opens. The best thing to do is to wait for it to break above this particular 4-hour trend line, right? If I were to pull this towards the downside, you can see clearly my expectation is for it to break above and then pull back for a retest on this particular zone, turning the resistance into a support and then continue to rally towards the upside. Now, sometimes in this kind of strong rally, maybe I don't even get that pullback, so I really need to judge based on how the candles are printing on a 4-hour basis and the lower time frame before I decide to enter this particular trade. But yeah, AUDJPY is another pair that I'm looking at for a potential buy. Moving on, NZDUSD. So this particular trade over here, I'm looking for a sell. The weekly is a sell, this being the lower low, this being the lower high. Market made a good amount of pullback and pushed back towards the downside last week, rejecting from this particular box, turning it into a resistance area, and this weekly EMA as a resistance as well. So weekly is a sell. Daily, of course, because it rallied towards the upside, it's a buy. But I can see that this box is currently holding because it made this curve, and then instead of making a bullish flag pattern or some sort in order to continue to push towards the upside, it kind of curved and fell tremendously towards the downside, breaking even the daily EMA. So for me, if I look at the 4-hour candlestick pattern, it is right now a sell. So over here, I believe that I can get a good 1 to 2 risk to reward for a potential sell to follow the weekly pro trend trade, right? And the reason I marked over here the 30 minutes, 1 hour and 2 hour is because if I go down to the 30 minutes candlestick, this structure point, when it breaks below, now the 30 minutes turn into a sell. And if I change it to 1 hour, it is the same structure point. And if I turn it to 2 hours, it is also the same structure point, where if it gets broken, it is actually a very good indication the market is going to continue to rally towards the downside. Now, I understand that 2 hour is technically a sell right now, this being the lower low and this being the lower high. So 2 hours is indeed a sell. 1 hour is actually a buy, right? So this was, it's easier for me to point it this way, right? So this was pretty much the lower low and then the lower high and then the lower low, and then the market broke this, making a new higher high. It broke this particular structure point, making this a new higher high, and then a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So the market has to break this point over here on a 30 minutes, 1 hour candlestick pattern. When this candle breaks below over here, it further reaffirms the lower time frame that it's going to indeed rally towards the downside, and then any sort of a pullback will be a good entry point as well. So that's what I see in NZDUSD for a potential sell as well. Now, I do have a few more pairs, but these are the main 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs that I'm looking at. If I quickly go to AUDCHF, now AUDCHF, this particular pair, I've been pretty much wicked out 2 times, but this time around, but actually I would say I took losses 3 times, right, for this particular trade, because I was predicting the market to rally towards the upside. But now even the weekly already confirmed, hey, I'm no longer going to break below, I'm going towards the upside, right? So market made a very strong push towards the upside, which I believe will continue the trend towards the upside. Weekly is a buy, and daily also is a buy, right? All this was the previous losses that I took, and even this one as well is also the losses that I took. And so finally this week it did rally towards the upside, saying that, hey, I was indeed wrong about the direction, right? Even though weekly was a sell at that point of time, but weekly has officially turned into a buy. Daily is a buy, and most probably it's going to continue to rally towards the upside. Right now, if I were to buy this, I understand that it is buying at its highest point, but I do see the way that the 4-hour has been moving, right, that most probably it's going to continue to move towards the upside. It has been having quite a strong push towards the upside. Most probably it's going to continue to rally to the upside. No guarantees, but this is what I see. AUDCHF as a potential buy. Now, moving on to the next pair, GBPCAD. So GBPCAD, this particular trade is quite interesting because the market on a weekly candle made a very strong bullish engulfing candle and then created a doji indecision candle and then reversed back up and came back to this particular structure points over here, which is supposed to act as a potential support now, right? So most probably it can bounce from here onwards, or it can even choose to come back all the way down here to retest this structure points as well. We don't know, but all I could say is if I were to execute the plan, then I need to follow as per the weekly pro trend trade. So this is the higher high, this being the higher low. Actually, I can even consider this point as a potential higher low. Let me just check over here. So yeah, this is not a clear structure point. I'll take this as a clear structure point. So yeah, so this being the higher high, this being the higher low, I believe the market had decent pullback where this week maybe it can push towards the upside, but asking for another strong candle immediate like this may be too much to ask on a weekly candle perspective. Maybe 1, 2, 3 candles, right? But that's 3 weeks worth of a buy that I need to hold. So I don't know if this is going to happen. But if I look at a daily candlestick right now, this is still the higher high, this is still the higher low. The market pulled down all the way up to here and then came back and closed right above this daily EMA, making it into a support. Now, any push towards the upside, I believe the market is going to continue to rally towards the upside because the daily is also a buy. 4-hour technically right now is a sell, and the 4-hour EMA is coming down very heavily as well. This may just act as a rejection point. Market may just reject and continue towards the downside as well. So that's why this is a bit tricky, not my personal favorite trade. But if at all I see the 4-hour candlestick also breaking the 4-hour EMA and then coming back and making it into a support, then yeah, market most probably is going to rally towards the upside. Now, next pair that I am looking at is NZDJPY. Now, NZDJPY, I want to sell simply because I see this is the weekly lower low, this is the weekly lower high. Market pulled all the way up here and created this indecision doji right at the highest point over here, and this could have been a potential reversal point, right? So when market made this lower low, right, this could have been from here, this could have been the first point where it rejected and then continued to rally towards the downside. And if it skips this, this is the next rejection point before it continues to rally towards the downside, right? But if it breaks this, then the market will eventually shift structure on a weekly from a sell into a buy and may continue to rally towards the upside. Now, why is this not one of my personal favorite pairs as well? Is because every time I look at JPY pairs, they continue to weaken. The Japanese yen is continued to getting weak and weak and weak, and all the pairs that is like USDJPY, NZDJPY, they have been rallying towards the upside. So maybe this can even break and continue to rally towards the upside. The only reason I see this is as a sell is because of last week doji indecision candle. So let's see how the market opens up. The daily pretty much is a buy, this being the higher high, and technically this being the higher low, right? So any sort of a pullback, I expect a rejection. And 4-hour is technically also a buy, right? The 4-hour EMA is coming in as a support, so market may just rally all the way up here back again. And if I see the 4 hours selling back again, then maybe we can choose to sell. Again, my primary pair AUDJPY, I'm aiming for a buy. So obviously this is counter to what I'm looking at NZDJPY. So either one should eventually play out, right? So that's what I'm looking at, NZDJPY for a potential sell. If I see the 4-hour makes a new higher high and then eventually shift, turning the 4-hour into a sell or the lower time frames into a sell. Now moving on, USDCAD. If I go to USDCAD on a weekly basis, the market rejected from here, curved and pushed back towards the downside. Now the market came here and started pushing towards the upside. I expect a continuation towards the upside as well. Now the best thing to do is to follow the trend, which is weekly is a buy and daily right now is still a buy, and this daily EMA is coming in as a support, which I believe will continue to act as a support. And right now, as of now, the 4-hour is a sell, but the 4-hour EMA for now is holding. Market may just continue to hold on a 4-hour EMA basis and continue to push towards the upside. And mainly if the market holds this round psychological number of 1.14000, then this whole number can also act as a very strong support. So that's what I'm seeing. USDCAD weekly buy, daily buy, 4 hours a sell. I'm looking for a buy. And the other pair is EURJPY. Now EURJPY, this pair on a weekly basis, right? Let me just zoom in nicely. On a weekly basis, this particular point is still the lower high, sorry, the higher low, and this is the higher high, right? And market has been ranging in this area, so I believe it is going to continue to push towards the upside. But right now the daily is a higher high, this is the higher low, and the 4-hour has shifted, right? So this is the last trade that I took, and the reason I closed this trade in a small profit is because if I look at the 4-hour, the structure, right? So from here, this was the higher low, higher high, made a new higher low, made a new higher high, made a new higher low, made a new higher high, made a new higher low, made a new higher high, and then it broke this particular structure point by making a new lower low. So this was the shift of structure at a 4-hour candlestick pattern, and now 4 hours is a sell. Now if it breaks towards the upside, it's going to continue to rally towards the upside, right? If it shifts the 4-hour candlestick pattern back from a sell into a buy, then yeah, it's probably going to rally towards the upside. If not, then most probably it's going to come back to retest this EMA or retest this particular area over here, this box, to turn the area into a support before a bounce further. So that's why I'm going to keep a close eye on this one as well, see if it's pulling back. And if it pulls back and then shifts back on a 4-hour candlestick pattern back into a buy, or the lower time frames back into a buy, then I can enter for another trade over here. So that's EURJPY. And finally, I want to look into XAUUSD as well, gold. So gold, upon checking back, I believe this is the lower low and this is the lower high. So weekly is a sell, right? So weekly is technically a sell, right? And daily is a buy, right? So this was what we were planning last week, which did not work out, right? This is what the market did. So we saw a very clear head and shoulders pattern. If I can just draw, this was the left shoulder and this was the head, and I would say this was the right shoulder, right? And when the market was retesting the neckline, I was expecting for a push towards the downside. In fact, if I don't put it this way, I can even draw it like this for the head and shoulders pattern, this being the left shoulder, this being the head, and even this could have been the right shoulder, right? And this could have been the retest of the neckline and a push towards the downside, but it did not continue to break towards the downside. The market reversed back and broke this shoulder pattern over here, head and shoulders pattern over here, by changing the daily from a sell into a buy. So whenever I had the lower time frame shift of structure, I was not confident as well. I skipped this particular trade because it was not showing me a very clear break towards the downside. And lucky me, I could have entered and lost twice. I did not do that. I skipped it based on my intuition and based on my previous losses on gold. I kind of started seeing the pattern over here, so I skipped from entering, and gold indeed did rally all the way up, right? Now, when gold rallied all the way up here, what's beautiful or what's fascinating here is this trend line that I drew over here, right? From the gold's peak point, this particular trend line that I drew again came as a resistance, and market came all the way here to this trend line that I drew and kind of rejected and had a very strong engulfing sell candlestick pattern pushing it towards the downside. Now, this trend technically is still holding, and I understand that this is actually a very long trend line that if it breaks, it's probably going to rally towards the upside already. Gold is going to continue its bullish momentum because technically this is a huge bull flag pattern, right? So it's going down at a 45 degrees plus minus, but it actually rallied all the way from here, right? This was the bull market, so this was the pole, and this is the bull flag pattern that it's forming. So in a long run, gold most probably is going to continue to rally towards the upside, right? But I don't know how long it's going to take, but a break from this flag pattern is going to result in a tremendous push towards the upside. But at the same time, if this flag breaks towards the downside, it's going to also push towards the downside, where the next support area is coming close to about 3,500-ish. Now, that's pretty significantly down over here. I don't know if gold is going to have that sort of significant push towards the downside, but I don't want to think too further away because we are trading, we are not investing. We just want to know what's going to happen for the next few days. So from what I see, this trend line held, gold tried to push above, but it eventually broke below, came back to this particular box, which was supposed to act as a support that broke below, turning it into a resistance now, and it's going to continue to push towards the downside. Now, if I go to the 2-hour candlestick pattern, I can see that the market shifted into a buy, but with the last candle that closed, it shifted back into a sell. But I did not enter for a gold sell because it was Friday. It was Friday evening, pretty much nighttime already for me, and the market was closing, so no point entering it and holding over the weekends. I just want to let the market open and see how the market reacts before I enter. Maybe I may miss this trade, but if I see this trade coming back like something like this, if I see the market does something like this on gold and comes back to this particular trend line, I believe it's going to continue to reject towards the downside, same way that it did over here. But this time around, when it rejects, it's going to be in my area of interest where I can look for a potential 1 to 2 risk to reward sell for gold. But I'll keep an eye on it. For now, I just randomly marked it over here. They have been anywhere around this region, but as long as it's in this box, it's in my area of interest. I'm interested for a potential sell if it rejects once again from this trend line or even earlier, right? So that's gold. Gold, I'm looking for maybe a potential sell. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all the pairs that I'm looking at for these upcoming days. And I don't want to rush. I want to make sure that it meets my confluences and only pick a few trades. Alright guys, so that's about it. That concludes our weekend game plan. And I wish you guys all the very best and good luck. Take care.